Hey everyone, big news. The recent ICE action shook the scene and mirrors the raw, icy themes on True Perspective's new album, now skyrocketing the charts. Their hit Ice in Your Veins hits even harder after recent events. Bad actors in ICE making bad choices. Tonight, we break down the parallels, cold visuals, sharper lyrics, and why listeners can't look away. Stay tuned.
Out to Minneapolis now, following breaking news reports of an ICE officer involved shooting there. Early reports of a woman apparently fleeing ICE being shot in the face. Let's get out to News Nation's Allie Bradley. She's live on the scene. Allie, obviously a breaking news situation, a lot happening right now. Looks like confusion there. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, hey, Nicole. So we actually just pushed a little bit away from the scene for a second because several Border Patrol agents were leaving the scene, and this whole entire group shifted this way. You can see tear gas canisters right here still going off right now because they were blocking a vehicle, one of the Border Patrol vehicles that was trying to leave, and they actually smashed out the front window and the back window. Bear with me here because we just took on a bunch of that tear gas. We're going to walk back this way, and what we know here is that a woman was apparently trying to evade law enforcement in her vehicle, and she actually tried to run them over. That's what officials say, is that she ran her vehicle towards an ICE officer. That ICE officer fired a single shot at the woman. The woman had no pulse on the scene, but she was still transported to a hospital. So while we don't know her condition, it's safe to assume that she was killed by that single shot here on scene. The officer was not injured, but she was driving one of three vehicles that were involved in a crash. Her vehicle was crashed into a light pole. She was transported, like I said, to the hospital. But right now, they're still working out a lot of details. But as you can see, the protests have ramped up. We have local Minneapolis police here. We also have the sheriff here as well. Trying to get you back to where the scene is here, excuse me. So you can see those cars right there. That one Honda CRV or SUV is smashed into that light pole. That is allegedly the vehicle that the woman was driving in, that she allegedly tried to hit an ICE officer. That officer firing a shot. That woman, as I mentioned, had no pulse on the scene. So that's what we're dealing with right now. We have the FBI on scene. We have several agencies on scene, and we have local police here as well. So you have Border Patrol, you have ICE, you have the FBI. Everybody's out here controlling this scene and trying to respond to what just happened here. And again, the governor is asking people to remain calm.
Thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. I do want to remind you that viewer discretion is advised while we're airing some of these live feeds. But right now, this is what's happening at a protest that happened at the Broadview ICE facility near Chicago. Of course, the conversation there involving so much when it comes to this ICE facility in Illinois has been going on for quite some time. But in fact, just yesterday, a federal judge and a handful of attorneys representing some ICE detainees spent more than 4 hours inside of the ICE processing facility. Their rare glimpse inside comes on the heels of this federal lawsuit that was filed back in October, where attorneys for some of these detainees allege the building is a, quote, black hole and that there have been inhumane conditions happening. There's overcrowded cells report, clogged toilets, and allegation of inadequate food and water. But things are really escalating this morning outside of this facility as protesters have shown up in numbers. And you can see their interactions still happening there with law enforcement there. Again, want to remind you that viewer discretion is advised during some of this. You're going to see people get detained. You may see people getting slammed on the ground. So just keep that in mind as we keep watching this feed. What we're going to do is continue to listen and hear to some of the natural sound of what's happening there on the scene.
This is wrong. I'm here because there's torture in that facility. It's a concentration camp because my conscience calls me to do it. What's happening here is evil, and the Illinois State Police are complicit in it. They're evil themselves.
says he didn't go looking for ICE.
Can we help you? I don't care who you are.
But they came knocking on his front door anyway.
No, you're trespassing. You're trespassing. This is our property. I don't need to do anything.
I'm still upset, frustrated, scared, all types of emotions.
Vang says he was working from home in St. Paul's Frogtown neighborhood early Monday afternoon when his mother told him there was a stranger at the door. Suspecting it might be ICE, Vang grabbed his phone and started recording his interaction with the agents outside.
You don't need to wait. We're not opening the door.
I was really curious and wondering why they were here. I see that they've been targeting a lot of people of color, so that's the only reason I could think of why they were here.
Vang says he lives with his parents who came to the U.S. from Laos in the 70s, as well as his sister and son, and all of them are U.S. citizens. But he was worried what would happen if he opened the door, so he never did.
I was afraid they were going to take me away, take my mom away, and just, rush our house and do whatever they, been trying to do with legal citizens, with people that, haven't done anything wrong.
Vang says the agents didn't tell him why they were there, and after about a minute and a half of back and forth, they left. But he wants others in his community to know what's happening, and more importantly, to know their rights.
They keep on telling you that they think they're doing the right thing, but they're not.